Hello friends, welcome to another video from Shomu's Biology. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about the working principle of light microscope. What do you think is most important feature of a light microscope? Is it the magnification? No. The most important feature of a light microscope, along with magnification, is the resolution. And this is the most important thing that we are struggling with. If magnification is our only goal, then we can achieve it with magnifying glass, we can achieve it with only single lens. But this is a highly complex setup utilizing objective lens, eyepiece lenses to magnify an image to an extent which is not only bigger to look at but also is something that we can easily differentiate between small objects. That is the resolution power. A power that measures what is the capability of your machine or the microscope is to separate two points as separate two entities in the field or field of view. That's what resolution is all about. So a microscope is considered great if it has a very high resolution and even moderate magnification. Magnification is just a scheme which newcomers to this field may like. You probably have seen in the internet and online websites, there are microscopes sold based on this idea that it will give you 2000x magnification, 2500x magnification, and people buy those microscopes. But actually, in reality, they are junk. The reason behind it is that this microscope is a research grade microscope by Euromax, and this particular microscope can give me maximum 1000 times 1000x magnification, but believe me, the 1000 image is not that good. Okay, I'll show you some example of the 1000 times magnified images. Without oil, we cannot even utilize it. But till 400x, it gives me very crisp and very good results. So for this research grade high-end microscopes to even produce very good quality with images with higher resolution is a challenge, right? So here I am going to share you the working principle of the light microscope. So to understand that, what you need to know is we start our journey from this point, and this is the point of light source. Remember, I always told you that in microscope you always need to, in light microscope, you always need to start the journey from the light source and follow the path of the light. You will reach your destination. So the light comes in from this light source, okay, and then light first hits this, the condenser diaphragm duo. Diaphragm, the light first hits the diaphragm, then hits the condenser, because the diaphragm is placed beneath the condenser. And you can clearly see here that the diaphragm is fully closed, and we're slowly now opening the diaphragm. You can see the light passing through, right? And again closure, opening. This is how diaphragm functions to control the amount of light that should enter the specimen. And what else is there is a coating. You can see that this is not an ordinary transparent plastic. This is a, what we can say, a plastic like this, something opaque kind of plastic, which will protect, which will prevent the scattered light flow. Because sometimes, you know, light source is not even. So light source is not even. So some place of the sample may get more light, some place of the sample may get less light. So to tackle that, they have this kind of diffusers through which the light passes, and the light is now kind of homogenized or spread across the specimen almost evenly. That's the job. And condenser's job is to condense that light. So let's say there are the beams, light beams are coming in from this bottom, okay, like this. So beams are coming in from all these different sides. Condenser's job is to gather all the light beams and to focus towards a specific point, that is the specimen. Because the specimen here is very small, thin specimen, very tiny specimen. The light need to be concentrated in order to enlighten it. Because if the lights are coming in from all the different sides, and light, because the property of the light is either to reflect, to scatter, or to refract. Any of these three possibilities are there. So you need to gather all the light beams together. That's why we have the condenser lens to gather all the light source. That's done. After the gathering is complete, you can see there is a knob here in this side. You can see this is the knob here. With this knob, we can drill down the condenser. So the condenser is now on the bottom. So here you can see that this is the condenser. Okay. So basically what we can simply do is we can rise the condenser and we can also uplift or delift the condenser like this. And it's very important because depending upon the position of the condenser, the light source and beam will be concentrated. Okay. For example, if the condenser is on the top, then too much light will come at this moment. So maximum light should come and be gathered. And the lesser distance the condenser have from the light source, the less amount of light can be condensed. So in case of 10x magnification, 10x objective lens, this is the rule of thumb that we lower down the condenser to visualize. Otherwise there will be too much light. Okay. So the light should move via the condenser and then it will hit the objective. But before that, there is this sample in the middle. So this is the stage. Okay, the mechanical stage, you can clearly see this is the mechanical stage, and this is where we place our sample. So through the sample the light will pass, and the first magnification will be done by objective lens. So write it down. There are two set of magnification that is done in a light microscopy. The first set of magnification is done by the objective lens, and in this case the objective lens, let's say in this case we have 40x. So 40 times magnification will be done. Now objective lens is not a single lens. Objective lens is made with multiple lenses. Okay, and there are also lens gaps that are present. But this acts as a single unified lens and to produce a magnified image. In this case 40 times for 40x magnification. So this image that the objective lens produces, that image is actually a real image, but an inverted real image. The real image but is the inverted one. And then it will pass again through, and finally we have this. Finally what we have eyepiece. Okay, I'll share you picture of an eyepiece. So this is how eyepiece looks like. See, this is an eyepiece, 10x eyepiece. So it can be 10x, 20x, 15x. So this eyepiece is placed there. So the light will move via this eyepiece ultimately. Now eyepiece is another lens, second lens, but the second magnification will be done. The second magnification again 10 times, 15 times or 20 times. Now this magnification is above the real image that produced by the objective lens. So objective lens already magnified it to 40 times. Then further 10 times modification. So 40 into 10. So total modification will be 400 times. Got it? That's how the light microscope works. And this time the image, earlier it was inverted, but now after the second magnification, the image will be again non-inverted to. So inverted image will be non-inverted at this time. Okay. So again it looks like the straight image that we are seeing. So but this is a pseudo image. This is not a real image. Real image will be produced by the objective, not this one, not the eyepiece. So these are the components of different light microscope, and this is the principle of light microscope. Now understand this simple idea. The principle of light microscope is based on the idea of light passing through a sample or a specimen. Now the specimen is placed in here and the light will pass through this. Now particularly when the light passes through the specimen, it can either absorb the light, first thing. Second thing, it can reflect the light, or third thing, it can refract the light. Okay, so absorption, reflection or diffraction. Absorption means the sample will absorb the light, so no light will pass through this if all the lights are absorbed. Second situation, it is the reflection, so the light beam will be reflected from the specimen and be reflected in the surroundings, right? And the third situation is the light beam passes through the specimen, that is refraction. So whole light microscopy principle is based on the idea of refraction, not reflection, not absorption. Basically देखो, हिंदी में बोलते हैं, सिंपल सी बात है समझने के लिए, सैंपल कुछ ना कुछ लाइट तो एब्जॉर्ब करेगा ही, मगर this is the idea that the sample should transfer, should transmit. Basically the idea is the sample must the refraction must take place. The light must pass through the sample in order to be visualized, because the image that we are seeing after looking at the eyepiece is the light. So if no light comes to our eye, we cannot see an image. तो अगर लाइट ही आँख तक नहीं आएगा, नहीं पहुंचेगा, तो कोई इमेज नजर नहीं आएगा. तो इसलिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि लाइट जो है उसे एब्जॉर्ब करे सैंपल, या तो उसको रिफ्रैक्ट कर दे, मगर ज्यादा रिफ्लेक्शन होगा तो उसको अच्छे तरीके से विजुअलाइज नहीं किया जाएगा. सो वी नीड रिफ्रैक्शन and we need either absorbance and refraction. Now if this is the principle, because the whole idea of the light microscopy is light microscopy, so utilize light to visualize specimen. Now for this purpose, whatever specimen that we place there, light passes through the specimen. If the specimen is transparent, can we see the image? What do you think? क्या लगता है आपको? बिल्कुल जो भी लगता है, मुझे पता नहीं क्या लगता है आपको, पर चीज ये है कि अगर ट्रांसपेरेंट स्पेसिमेन हो तो उसे हम देख नहीं पाएंगे. वी कैन नॉट सी transparent specimen because the light will completely pass through the specimen. There is nothing to be absorbed by the specimen, because we can see a good image with good contrast if and only if our specimen absorbs some amount of light and transfers some amount of light. तो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, अगर सैंपल टोटली ट्रांसपेरेंट है तो पूरा के पूरा लाइट जो आर पार हो जाएगा, तो उसके बाद जो इमेज हमें नजर आएगा वो क्लियर नहीं रहेगा, उसमें कॉन्ट्रास्ट नहीं आएगा. So a light microscopy has its best advantage, that is light, simple source, and that is the worst, that's the disadvantage, that is the light. Because it utilizes light, there is no contrast for transparent specimen. तो हम ट्रांसपेरेंट स्पेसिमेन को लाइट माइक्रोस्कोपी के द्वारा उतने आसानी से अच्छे तरीके से विजुअलाइज नहीं कर सकते. पर्टिकुलरली इफ यू आर लुकिंग एट सेल्स विद कॉम्प्लेक्स स्ट्रक्चर्स, वी कैन नॉट विजुअलाइज देम वेल. और अगर कोई अपेंडिजेस की बात हुई, जैसे कि फ्लैजेला हो गया, कोई बैक्टीरिया की फ्लैजेला हो गया, स्पर्म फ्लैजेला हो गया, स्पर्म फ्लैजेला खैर वो तो बड़ा है, वो फिर भी दिखता है, बैक्टीरिया फ्लैजेला हो गया, या फिर सोचो कि कुछ एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर जो स्ट्रक्चर्स है वो हमें विजुअलाइज नहीं करना आता है. दैट्स वाई टू टैकल दिस व्हाट वी डेवलप इज अ टेक्निक नोन एज स्टेनिंग. इंस्टेड ऑफ ऑब्जर्विंग ट्रांसपेरेंट स्पेसिमेन, वी stain the specimen with color. And when we put color to the specimen, now the specimen looks colored. So this colored specimen can be visualized. So here I have one or such examples. You can see this is the mosquito samples. These are mosquito samples, and you can clearly see the colored mosquito specimen in here. Okay, I believe you can clearly see it now. Okay, this is the mosquito specimen. So this is, you can see the color is pink or black, red or pink colored structure of mosquito. So basically we can see this colored objects utilizing the light microscope, because this colored object is when different parts of the cell or parts of the specimen will get different amount of staining or coloring when we color them or stain them. So some portion will get more color, some portion will get less color, more stain, less stain. Based on that, when the light passes through, it will behave differently by the different components of the specimen, different parts of the specimen. Based on that, we can visualize a better image when we look at it. Okay, so that's the simple idea. We need to stain the specimen in order to properly view them with proper contrast using a light microscope. Okay, so that's the basic principle of a light microscope, that it magnifies twice, it has a light source, and it condenses all the light. Okay, and earlier microscopes are there. The old one, they utilize reflect mirrors to reflect the natural light, and the reflection of the light will pass through the objective and eyepiece in order to view it or visualize it. That is the idea. Now what we can clearly say here is that apart from that, there are two magnifications, one done by objective, another done by eyepiece, and based on this objective magnification is done. And as you need to know that the magnification is an important power, but resolution is even more important in terms of research methodology. Because I can give you a simple idea that I have this objective lens in my hand. Let's say this is an objective lens that we're talking about. Say this one, 10x objective lens. Okay, this is a 10x objective lens, and we have a 10x eyepiece lens. This is objective, this is eyepiece. So if we are observing a sample or specimen with 10x objective and 10x eyepiece, we are going to get 100x total magnification. That's what we are going to get. Okay, similarly, if you use 4x with 10x, 40x magnification. If we use 40x with 10x, we'll get 400x magnification. So till this magnification, 40x, 100x, 400x, we are getting a better resolution. The reason behind it is that the more amount of light passes, so let's say this is the 4x. So 4x objective, maximum light will pass through it. Then 10x, again good amount of light will pass through it. 40x, now lesser amount of light will pass through it. 100x, even less amount of light will pass through it. So as lesser and lesser amount of light can pass through it because of the complexity of the lenses, very low light is there. So obviously in that case we need to increase the light intensity, but in order to have a better contrast, we need to close the diaphragm. So this is the diaphragm. Let's say if you are observing a specimen under 4x, so you can observe it like little close like this, right? And if you want to, so if the diaphragm is totally open, the contrast that you are going to get is very less, the least contrast at this mode. Then slowly if you close it, the higher contrast you will get, higher contrast, highest contrast, then closure. At this point, no such light, a very tiny, you can see very small dot like hole is there, so very tiny amount of light will pass through it, very little amount of light will pass through it at this moment, and this will give you a much better contrast at this point, but again very low light. So there are two ways to control the light. One is the light source. So you can see light source in this particular model, you can see the light source is placed in here like this. Okay, so there are light source adjustments that you can do, and then there are this diaphragm adjustments that you can do, but diaphragm is linked with contrast, remember that. Okay, so this is one thing, and the second thing is that about resolution. So maximum resolution you can get in the 4x. 4x is actually needed for seeing like this mosquito and all these samples, which are bigger samples, we can see with the eyes, but still we want to see it in the bigger scale, so 4x. Then from 10x objective we are going to see micro organisms, I mean not bacteria, we cannot see bacteria, we cannot understand bacteria, but blood cells and all can be visualized with 10x objective. So what's the job of 10x objective here is that in the 10x objective, if we utilize them and we are using the light source, so basically we are getting a better resolution at this moment, because this lens is very capable of this magnification at this range. Then we go with the 40x. The lens is still good enough and capable of distinguishing 2 points as separate entities, so better resolution can be achieved. So you can see the sharpness of the image almost remains the same between 10 and 40. But when you move to 100x, so objective 100 means objective 100 with the 10x eyepiece will give us 1000x. At this moment we can see the sample, but the resolution will be very poor. Again, two reasons. One is that the lens, you can see the 10x lens, you can see the point, how the opening of the lens very thin. The same thing you can see for the 4x. See how much opening is present, the black dot, bigger opening. Okay, 10x still bigger opening, 40x still bigger opening. What about 100x? Very tiny opening. So through this tiny opening, very little amount of light can go through. And at this 1000x magnification, between the slide and the objective lens, the refractive index is something that plays an important role. Now what is refractive index? We need to know. What is magnification power? We need to know. What is resolution power? We need to know. Without knowing that, you cannot understand the role and utilization of 100x. And 100x objective is not to be used alone in the air, to be used in oil. You need to put oil on the top of the cover slip, then put the lens. So there won't be any gap between the specimen and the objective. In between there will be oil. Without that, image construction is not possible. Although there are some examples like this one here, this black one, this is actually objective of a fluorescence microscope. This is the one which can act as an objective without oil, but again the quality without oil and with oil is leaps and bounds ahead. Okay, we'll see that later, but this is what we know. This is what we know about the different parts of the light microscope and the purpose of light microscope and the working principle of a light microscope. I believe it has a you got the clear idea about it. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to this channel. And please watch the next video about the basics of basic principle of light microscopy, that is regarding the magnification power, the resolution power, and the refractive index calculations, because a lot of questions are asked from this topic in competitive exam. So all the very best. See you then. Bye.